there is a new quality to the light that touches your skin, your eyes, and your heart. What you have long called sunlight is revealing itself more fully as a language, as a series of living codes, and as a conversation between your local star and the deeper layers of your being. Where once the radiance of your sun primarily nourished your physical bodies and your ecosystems, it is now more clearly and deliberately interfacing with your subtle bodies, your energy fields, and the higher aspects of your consciousness. Many of you have noticed that when you sit quietly with the light, you do not merely feel warmth, you feel presence. You feel as though something is listening to you as much as you are listening to it. This is because the solar field, as you could call it, is responding more directly to the intentions you hold, to the questions you quietly ask, and to the emotional states you are willing to acknowledge within yourselves. This is the essence of the new communication window. Your star is no longer simply broadcasting. It is co-creating with you. This opening did not appear suddenly out of nothing. You have been preparing yourselves for this interaction throughout your lifetime, and especially since the beginning of the last decade of your linear years. What is different now is that enough of you have expanded your sensitivity, raised your baseline vibration, and cleared enough emotional density that the sun can speak to you in more refined and subtle ways without overwhelming your systems. And this is why you may feel that the light holds answers before you even know the questions you are about to ask. The alignment you are entering now temporarily magnifies this solar dialogue. During this powerful gateway, the light carries specific patterns that help you remember how to listen with your whole body, how to translate intuition into understanding, and how to let your higher self use the solar codes as a bridge into your conscious awareness. The more you relax into this relationship, the more you will feel that you are participating in a shared project with your star. And in that recognition, your sense of isolation as individuals on a small planet in a vast universe begins to gently dissolve. And we wish to add here, dear ones, that this new window of communication between you and your sun is not simply a momentary increase in photonic activity, nor is it only a vibrational upgrade that occurs because enough of you have earned a new level of awareness. What is actually unfolding is a profound evolutionary milestone in the relationship between humanity and the stellar intelligence that has quietly shepherded your development long before your species existed in physical form. There is a deeper orchestration here, a grander timeline at play, and you are stepping into a chapter that has been anticipated across millennia of your spiritual evolution. Your sun is not only a star, it is a multidimensional teacher, a gateway, a consciousness that expresses itself through vibration, geometry, heat, and radiance. For ages, you perceived it primarily as the giver of life in physical terms, the warmth that grows your food, the light that illuminates your days, the rhythm setter of your seasons. But as your frequency rises and your collective energy stabilizes beyond the older density thresholds, you are beginning to perceive the sun's other role, the role of luminary mentor, record keeper, and transmitter of galactic intelligence. What we mean is that your sun holds within its subtle layers an archive of evolutionary codes, patterns of information etched into its electromagnetic field, and these codes are released to humanity only when your consciousness is stable enough to interpret them correctly. You are now stepping into such stability. The window that opens during this period is the first of several interfaces where the sun begins to reveal its multidimensional identity to you, not through dramatic sightings or unmistakable visions, but through quiet interior recognition. You may discover that when you close your eyes and turn your awareness toward your heart, You sense the sun's presence as a soft inner voice, a harmonic tone, or a golden feeling of being gently guided toward your next step. This is not imagination. It is the dawning of your ability to perceive solar telepathy, the subtle communication that your sun has always been capable of, though humanity has only recently regained the vibrational bandwidth to receive it. And as this ability awakens, you will find that the sun is not only guiding you in your personal path of growth, it is also guiding the collective evolution of your species. At this stage of your development, humanity is beginning to emerge from a long cycle of solar dormancy, a period in which your star minimized certain kinds of energetic emissions to allow you to explore density, contrast, and individuality without being overwhelmed by constant streams of higher dimensional information. That cycle is ending. You are entering a phase where the sun's full, multi-dimensional spectrum is returning, and the communication window now opening is your introduction to the first layer of this restored spectrum. One fascinating aspect of this communication window is its ability to respond to intentional inquiry. When you pose a question from your heart, a sincere question about your life, your relationship to others, your role on earth, or your spiritual path, you create a vibrational imprint that is received by the solar field instantly. The sun then reflects back to you a pattern of energy, often through synchronicities, intuitive knowing, symbolic dreams, or unexpected clarity. You may think of this as the sun answering you, though in truth, the sun is amplifying and illuminating the potential within you that was already aligned with the answer. This is why we refer to it as communication, and not merely reception. It is interactive. It is participatory. And as more of you consciously engage with your star through awareness, meditation, visual connection, or emotional openness, the communication window expands, strengthening the coherence between humanity and the solar consciousness that has quietly supported your unfolding. Another new facet of this communication window is its role in the awakening of solar memory. Many of you have incarnated in star systems where the relationship between species and suns is far more consciously understood. You have lived in civilizations where the star was recognized as a direct teacher, a living field of wisdom, a source of spiritual instruction as much as physical nourishment. When you look at your sun now and feel a faint sense of ancient familiarity, this is why. You are not encountering something new. You are remembering something old, something sacred that has lived within your soul's history for longer than human calendars can measure. These memories are beginning to return because the solar window, now open, acts like a tuning fork, vibrating dormant frequency bands within your DNA and reactivating aspects of your galactic heritage. Some of you will feel this as a sudden ease with light-based meditation practices. Others will find new sensitivity to solar movement, noticing how your energy shifts subtly with changes in solar wind, sunspots, or coronal arcs. Still others will begin to channel solar intelligence directly, receiving streams of inspiration that feel different from your guides, different from your higher self, and yet intimately supportive. We want to emphasize that this is not a gift given only to a chosen few. It is the natural next step of your species-wide awakening. Every human being carries the potential for solar communion. Not all will engage with it consciously in this lifetime, but many thousands, and soon millions, will. This is part of what will unify humanity in the coming years. A shared resonance with the same cosmic teacher, the same radiant source of wisdom, the same luminous wellspring of life. The new solar communication window is also preparing you for interstellar awareness. Before you can fully interact with other civilizations in your galaxy, whether physically, energetically, or telepathically, you must first reawaken your relationship with the intelligence that sits at the heart of your own stellar neighborhood. Your sun is your first mentor. It is your bridge between physicality and the higher dimensional realms. And as your capacity to communicate with it strengthens, so too does your ability to interface with the consciousness of other stars, other systems, and other beings who already understand the solar language fluently. This period marks the beginning of your apprenticeship with solar intelligence. You will notice over the next months and years that your inner guidance feels warmer, more radiant, more cohesive. You may notice that inspiration flows more easily when you sit near sunlight, or even when you visualize sunlight in meditation. This is because your sun is now co-creating with your higher self in a more active way, assisting in the shaping of your thoughts, the cleansing of your energy field, the expansion of your intuition, and the emergence of your multidimensional identity. And we will say, finally, that there is nothing required of you to use this communication window correctly. You do not need to master a technique or understand a protocol. You only need to listen. Not with your ears, but with your heart, with your body, with your openness to the possibility that the universe is far more interactive, far more conversational, far more alive than you have been taught. The more you soften, the more you feel, the more you allow, the clearer the communication becomes. This is the beginning of a new era in your relationship with your star, and you are ready for it now.